Hello student, our today's topic is percentage exercise part 2. Okay. Now the disclaimer is the images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creator and owner of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concern or issues, please contact us at sathee@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. Now the index is exercise questions and summary. Okay. Now, first we will see some formula. Then we will, now the first formula is percentage as a fraction. Numerator upon denominator multiply by 100. We get the percentage as a fraction. Fraction as a percentage, then we can convert percentage upon percentage value upon 100 and we get the fraction value. Third one is percentage conversion. If you have some part upon whole multiply by 100. Percentage calculation, x percent of y. What it means? X upon 100. When we remove the percentage sign, we divide it by 100 and multiply the value of y. Okay. Percentage increase in value upon original quantity multiply by 100. Next one is percentage decrease in quantity upon original quantity multiply by 100. Next one is if x is a percent more than y, then y is a upon 100 plus a multiplied by 100% less than x. In that way, if x is a percent less than y, then y is a upon 100 minus a multiplied by 100% more than x. Next, percentage increase or decrease. Direct calculation, new quantity is equals to 1 plus minus percentage change upon 100 into original quantity. In this formula, percentage plus minus shows increase or decrease of the percentage. Okay. In the next formula, percentage increase or decrease, net effect, net change. How we calculate net change? Plus minus A plus minus B plus minus A multiplied by plus minus B upon 100%. So here again plus minus show the increase and decrease of the percentage. Okay. Next one is percentage change in population. Population after n year. So the formula will be P 1 plus minus R upon 100 to the power n, where R is the rate of change, percentage, n is the number of years. Okay. Population n year ago, P upon 1 plus minus R upon 100 to the power n. Again, R is the rate change, rate of the interest. Okay. And n is the number of year. Next formula is percentage increase or decrease in consumption. Now the change in consumption upon is equals to A upon 100 plus minus A multiplied by 100, where A is the percentage change. Next one is percentage increase or decrease net effect for the same percentage. Okay. So the net decrease will always be A square upon 100%. Now we move to questions. Now you have first question is A is 50% more than B, C is 2/3 of A, and D is 60% more than C. Now, if each A, B, C and D is increased by 10%, then find D is what percent of B after the increase. Okay, you have 5 options. Now you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time start now. Now time has been completed. We see the solution. First we let value of B, because question says that A is 50% more than B. So if we let B equals to 100, so A will be 150. C will be 2/3 of A, so C will be 100, and D is 60% more than C, so D is 160. Now the question says that if we increase all the values by 10%, if we increase all the values by 10%, then there no change in the relative percentage values. Okay, so required percentage will be 160 upon 100 multiplied by 100, which is 160%. Okay, next one. Annual income of Arun is 6.24 lakh. He spent 38 and 6 by 13% of monthly income on food and rent, 12.5% of the remaining on gym, 14.2 by 7% of remaining on cloth, and 75% of the remaining invested in mutual fund. If he kept the remaining amount after all expenses as cash with him, then Find how much cash Arun have after 1 year. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time start now. Now time's up. We will see the solution. Now, if you calculate the monthly income of Arun, then what will be the monthly income? 6.24 lakh divided by 12, which is 52,000 monthly income. Okay. Now the question says expense on food and rent is, if you make the fraction of 38 6 by 13, which is 15,500 upon 13 multiplied by 1 by 100, which is multiplied by 52,000, and you get 20,000 rupees, which is expenses on food and rent. Okay. Next one is expense on gym, and the question, it is given that you have spent 12.5% of the remaining amount on gym. Okay. So first we subtract 20,000 from 52,000 and multiplied by 12.5%. So we get 4,000 rupees. Now the solution is continued. On clothing, of the remaining amount. Okay. So 32,000 minus 4,000 into 1 by 7. What is 1 by 7 is? 14 2 by 7%. When you convert it into fraction value, you get 1 by 7. When you solve it, you get 4,000. And invested in mutual fund. Now we move to mutual fund money. So 28,000 you have rest amount, and you subtracted the clothing amount 4,000 and multiplied by 3 by 4, which is 75%. So you get 18,000 rupees. Now the question is cash after 1 year. Now 24,000 minus 18,000 is the 1 month saving, and question is asked in a year. So we multiplied by 12 months. So you get 72,000 rupees. This is the answer. Okay. Next question is, Mr. Shah's monthly income is 54,550. In an entire year, he spent 32% of his annual salary on groceries, 12% on equipment repairs, 10% on servant, and the half of the remaining amount is invested in fixed deposit. What is the amount invested by him in fixed deposit? You have 5 options. Now your time start now. You have 10 seconds. Okay. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Annual income will be 54,550 multiplied by 12, which is 6,54,600. In the question, it is given that annual expenditure on grocery, repairs and servant will be 32%, 12% and 10%, which is 54%. 54% of the 6,54,600. So now remaining part of the annual income will be 46%. Now half of this remaining amount is invested in fixed deposit. So therefore annual investment is fixed deposit 23% of the 6,54,600. So it will be 1,50,558. This is your answer. Okay. Next one. Bhavya spent 25% of his monthly salary on rent, 20% of the remaining on food, 16 2 by 3% of remaining on cloth, and 50% of the remaining on mutual fund. He gave 10% of his salary to his friend. If Bhavya monthly salary is 20,000, then find his saving. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Total salary will be 20,000. It is given total salary is 20,000. So if salary is 20,000, he spent on rent is 5,000, 20%, which is 5,000. Food, 20% of 15,000, which is 3,000. Cloth, 50 by 3% of 12,000, which is 2,000. In mutual fund of the remaining, so it will become 10,000, half of the remaining. So 50% of 10,000, which is 5,000. And he gave 10% to his friend. So 20,000 into 10 upon 100, which is 2,000. So saving will be 5,000 minus 2,000, which is 3,000 rupees. Okay. Next one. A student scored 85 marks in a test, which include 5 questions worth 10 marks each and 3 questions worth 5 marks each. What percent of the total score did the student achieve from the remaining questions? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Mark scored from the 5 questions worth 10 marks and 3 questions worth 5 marks each. So when we calculate it, 5 into 10 plus 3 into 5, which is converted into total 65, 50 plus 15. Now, mark scored from the remaining question, which is 85 minus 65, which is 20. So the question is required percentage from the remaining question. So 20 upon 85 multiplied by 100, which is 23.53%. Okay. Since none of the options match exactly, the correct answer is none of these. Okay. Next one. A company sold 200 units of a product, out of which 50 units were sold online and rest were sold in store. What percent of the total unit was sold in store? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Unit sold online, which is 50. Okay. Unit sold in store, we subtract 50 in from 200, which is 150. We get 150. Required percentage of units sold in store, 150 upon 200 multiplied by 100, which is 75%. So correct answer is D. Okay. Next one. A student scored 75 marks out of 100 in mathematics, 85 marks out of 100 in science, 90 marks out of 100 in English. What is the percentage of marks obtained by the student in all 3 subjects combined? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Total mark obtained by them, 75 plus 85 plus 90, which is 250. And total mark is 100, 100, 100. Each subject have out of 100. So total mark is 300 and a student get 250 marks. So percentage will be 250 upon 300 multiplied by 100, which is 83.33%. Okay. Next one. Annual income of Samir is 8.4 lakh rupees. He spent 14/2/7 on rent, 16/3% of remaining on food, 11/20 of the remaining spent on cloth and travel together monthly. Then the difference between total saving and amount spent on travel annually, if it is given, ratio between amount spent on cloth to travel is 17:8. So you have 5 options and you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Question says that annual income of Samir is 8.4 lakh. So monthly income of Samir will be 8.4 lakh divided by 12, which is 70,000 rupees. Spent on rent, which is 14/2/7%, which is 1/7. So 10,000 rupees. Spent on food of the remaining. So first we subtract 10,000 from 70,000, which is 60, and 1/6. 16/2/3%. Fraction value will be 1/6. So again 10,000. Solution to be continued. Next, spend on cloth and travel. Okay. So again we subtract 20,000 from 70,000 and multiplied by 11/20, which is 27,500 rupees. Saving will be 22,500. So expense on travel will be 27,500 multiplied by 8/25. Okay. which is 8,800. Required difference will be 22,500 multiplied by 12 minus 8,800 multiplied by 12 rupees. When we subtract it, we get 1 lakh for 64,400 rupees. Okay. Next one. If the population of a town increased by 10% annually, what will be the population after 2 years if the current population is 50,000? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. So first, in the first year, if the population was 50,000, so in first year it will be increased by 10%. So 10% of 50,000 will be 5,000. When we add it, we get 55,000. In next year, the population will be 55,000 and 10% of the 55,000 will be 5,500, which will be added and we get 60,500. So option A will be the correct. Next question. A man spends 75% of his income. If his income is increased by 20% and his expenditure increased by 10%, what is the percentage increase in saving? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Time's up. Let's see the solution. Let the initial income is 100. Okay. So he spent 75% of his income. So expenditure will be 75. So saving will be 25, 100 minus 75. Now new income is increased by 20%. So 100 plus 20% of 100, which is 120. Expenditure is also increased by 10%. So 75 plus 10% of 75, which is 82.5. Now new saving will be 82.5 minus 82.5, which is 37.5. Now the percentage increase in saving is 37.5 minus 25, because our initial saving is 25 upon 25 multiplied by 100, which is 50%. So option A is correct. Next is, a number is increased by 20% and then decreased by 20%. What is the net percentage change in the number? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Let the original number is 100. Okay. Then when we increase the original number by 20%, the number will become 120. And after that, when we decrease 20%, then the number become 96. So the net change is minus 4, and minus represent just the decreasing the value. Okay. Decreasing the value. So net percentage change will be 4 upon 100 multiplied by 100, which is minus 4, and minus sign represent only the decrease, nothing else. 4% decrease. So value will be decreased by 4%. So option B is the correct answer. Next is, a salary is increased by 25% and then decreased by 20%. What is the net percentage change in the salary? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Now time up. Let's see the solution. Let the original salary is 100. Okay. Now the question says it increased by 25%. So after increase 25%, the salary become 125. And the question says it after that salary decreased by 20%. So again, when we decrease 20% of 125, which is 100, so net change will be 0. So percentage change will be 0%. Okay. Next one. A man spends 60% of his income. If his income is increased by 25% and his expenditure increased by 15%, what is the percentage increase in his saving? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Now time has been completed. Let's see the solution. Question says it, if my initial income is 100, so the expenditure is 60. So my saving will be 100 minus 60, which is 40. Now the question says it, my income is increased by 25%. What it means? 100 plus 25% of 100, which is 125 rupees. And my expenditure is also increased by 15%. So my expenditure was 60 and 15% of 60 is 9. When we add it, we get 69. Okay. My new saving will be my new income and my new expenditure. So when we subtract it, we got 56 rupees. Okay. So the percentage increase in saving, my previous saving is 40, my new saving is 56. So the difference will be 16 by 40 multiplied by 100, which is 40%. Okay. Next one. Abhishek got 432 marks in a test which were 112 or more than that of Arun marks. If Sonakshi got 60% mark out of the total mark of the test, which was 64% more than the Arun marks, what percent of mark did Arun got? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Arun marks 432 minus 112, which is 320 according to question, because question says that Abhishek got 432 marks in a test which were 112 marks more than Arun marks. Okay, so Arun marks will be 320. Let the total mark is X. So according to question, Sonakshi got 60% of the total marks, which is equals to 320 plus 64. According to that, we get the value of X, which is 384 multiplied by 100 upon 60, which is 640. So total mark is 640. Required percentage asks that Arun got how much percent? So Arun got 320 mark out of 640 multiplied by 100, which is 50% mark. Okay. Next one. A, B, C and D purchase a restaurant for rupees 56 lakh rupees. The contribution of B and C and D together is 460% of A alone. The contribution of A, C and D together is 366.66% that of B contribution, and the contribution of C is 40% that of A, B and D together. The amount contributed by D is, you have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time start now. Now time up. Let's see the solution. Question says that A ratio B plus C plus D is equals to 100 ratio 460 according to the question, because the question says that the contribution of B, C and D together is 460% of A alone. Okay, so we can write it into form of 10 ratio 46. A's contribution is equals to 10 lakh. Okay, if you let it 10 lakh and 46 lakh, B plus C plus D. So if A's contribution is 10 lakh and B ratio A plus C plus D is combined is 100 ratio 366.66, which we can write it 3 ratio 11. And when we multiply it by 4, we get 12 ratio 44. Okay, because we equating the amount both the equal. So when you add it 46 plus 10, you got 56. And when you add 12 and 44, you got again 56. Okay. So now B contribution will be 12 lakh. And C ratio A plus B plus D is 40 ratio 100. Solution to be continued. So ratio will become 2 ratio 5. When we make it 56, so it will become 16 ratio 40. Okay. So C's contribution will be 16 lakh. According to question, hence the contribution of D is 56 minus 10 plus 12 plus 16, which is 18 lakh. Okay. So the answer will be 18 lakh. Now we summarize our today's lecture. Now the first one is percentage increase and decrease value. Okay, percentage increase is this measures how much a value has grown relative to its original amount. Okay, to calculate, subtract the original value from new value, divide the difference by the original value, and then multiply by 100. For example, if a salary increases from 50,000 to 55,000, the percentage increases is 55,000 minus 50,000 upon 50,000 multiplied by 100, which is 10%. In the same way, percentage decrease will be this measures how much a value has reduced relative to its original amount. To calculate, subtract the new value from the original value, divide the difference by the original value, and then multiply by 100. For example, if the product price decreases from 80 to 60, the percentage decrease is 80 minus 60 upon 80 multiplied by 100, which is 25%. Okay, next one. Income, expenditure, and saving. These are the important things. What is income? The total money earned from various sources such as wages, salary, investment, or business profit. Okay. What is expenditure? The total money spent on various items or services such as bills, groceries, and other expenses. Saving is the amount of money left after subtracting expenditure from income. It can be concluded as saving is equals to income minus expenditure. Okay. So thank you